Kersten Liberty, Airport.
Good morning. Sometime in the early 70s, the city of Atlanta purchased thousands of acres of property around the state of Georgia in anticipation of expanding air service to other locations, in the event there would not be adequate land available at the current location of Hartsfield Airport. In 1972, through an act of the Georgia legislature, the Paulding County Airport Authority was formed. The citizens of Paulding County wanted input, participation, and some control as to what type of air service may or may not be needed in the future for Paulding County, and therefore requested our legislators pass this act. When it was announced the city of Atlanta might consider the Paulding location, the citizens rose up, spoke out, and made it be known they did not want an airport in Paulding County. They even loaded up school buses headed for the Capitol to firmly show the rejection of an airport in Paulding County. Some of the family members of those here today were instrumental in preventing Atlanta from considering Paulding County at that time. In fact, it was put on a referendum for the citizens to vote on sometime around 1975 and was soundly defeated in that election cycle. Sometime around 1989, there was again talk of Paulding building an airport. Our elected officials again turned to the taxpayers to see if they would approve bonds for construction of an airport. It was also soundly defeated. Some claim they voted against the bonds, not the airport. We haven't found one person that admits they only voted against the bonds. They voted against the airport, period. It was built anyway against the wishes of the voters. The chairman of the Airport Authority made a promise, a covenant, a pledge to the citizens of Paulding County it would never, ever have commercial airliners. What does that mean? Not right now, not if the economy tanks, not because someone once again has a really stupid idea to turn our airport into a commercial hub. Never, ever can't be misinterpreted. It means what it says. In the past 18 months, we have heard on many occasions, I inherited this airport and promised to do whatever was necessary to provide jobs. At what cost? When does the covenant pledged to the citizens become null and void because of your inheritance? Before the contracts with Propeller, before the decision to turn this airport commercial, before some pie in the sky dream of $1 million more a year from the FAA, the covenant to the people existed. It should have taken priority. You said it did in your campaign when you ran for commission chair in 2008. As people rose up, spoke out, begged you to honor that covenant, we were ignored. We've been bullied, intimidated, and minimized. What about that covenant to us? Why did our commissions before you bring the airport issue before the people, and you feel you didn't even have to put it on a referendum? Is your agenda and that of the PCAA more important than the voters? And for your grand finale, with a lame duck commission, you have a bond attorney create an intergovernmental agreement that takes what little input the citizens may have completely off the table and hand over the airport, lock, stock, and barrel to an unelected authority still being run by the same chairman that promised us it would never, ever be commercial. Mr. Chairman, you also inherited the covenant of never, ever will there be airliners. I request you insist the PCAA honor that covenant along with you and the rest of the BOC. In 2008, you campaigned against your opponent for building an airport that the citizens didn't want. You also said your opponent wasn't listening to the voters. Are you listening now? In 2012, you and the PCAA were already in negotiations with Propeller about commercialization of the airport. I do not recall during your campaign your mention of that or any promised jobs at the airport. Don't you think voters should have known you were in fact considering commercial service at the airport before the election? The IGA was created solely to circumvent the incoming commissioners that were elected on anti-commercialization platforms. They won the election by listening to the people, by talking to them at their homes, the grocery stores, their churches. The IGA puts the entire BOC and county at risk with no input from the people. You want the BOC to remain a sponsor, to obtain funding from the FAA, but you want to eliminate all oversight by the BOC. I implore you and the rest of the commissioners to rescind the IGA and return control of the airport authority back to the people through our elected officials. Thank you.